So this is Chris from Go Honda, and today we're going to be looking at the 2013 Honda Civic Si. So it's a 2.4 liter four-cylinder engine. It's our i-VTEC engine. Basically it has the two camshafts inside the motor, so when you're kind of driving along in the city, it gives you, kind of relaxed, decent fuel economy, low engine noise, that kind of stuff. When it revs over about 5,500 RPM, it switches over to a high-performance camshaft. So essentially you get two engines in one. You get the sort of better fuel economy at lower RPM, and then a performance motor at high RPM. Well, you know what? The fuel economy, if you drive it gently, the fuel economy is actually pretty good. We're looking in the sort of 43 mile per gallon range, which is about 5.5 liters per 100. If you drive it easily, I think the highway rating is 6.1 liters per 100 right off the top, right? So you do actually get fairly decent mileage. It does require premium gas, but pretty much anything in this category that has a higher performance engine, it's going to need it anyway, so that's not really too much of a concern. This is the two-door, and so you basically get the option of having a two-door or a sedan model, depending on what your preference is. So it's basically the style of the car, the trunk space, and that's pretty much it. Interior-wise and option-wise, 100% the same. For 2013, what they've changed is the stuff inside the car. So last year we got kind of panned in the press for having a little plasticky dash and stuff like that. Now the dash is all soft touch materials. You've got red stitching on the dash and all the seats now, so it's kind of color matched keys in the interior. There's new carbon fiber trim that's all over the interior for 2013 as well, so it looks cooler. They have basically jazzed up the suspension a little bit, so it handles better now, but also it handles more quietly, so you don't hear as much road noise, from rocks and wind noise and things like that. So overall, it's a more comfortable package to live with, but just as high a performance as last year's model. And one of the things that's been happening over the last couple of years is manufacturers are using electronics to try and give you extra performance in the car, right? And a great example of this is you've got limited slip differentials, which basically in the front is how you transfer the power to the road. A lot of cars now don't have a limited slip differential, at least not a mechanical one. The SI has a proper limited slip differential underneath it. So what that means is even in wintertime, because a lot of our owners drive these in winter, you can put power to the ground right away. If one of the wheels starts to spin, it'll fire the power to the opposite wheel, right? And you get a proper mechanical one, because that's the best way to put power to the ground under any circumstance. It is an awesome little car. I mean, our owners that buy these cars love them, and we're getting a lot of customers that will trade out of an older one into the newer ones because they actually have more power now than the older SIs. If you hadn't looked at an SI for a while, the biggest thing now is there's more torque in the engine, so it's a more daily driver-friendly car. You've got heated seats in them now, which we didn't have last year, so that's kind of a big deal too. So it's a great daily driver. It's not a track weapon. It's more of a daily driver. You can drive every day. It's reliable. It'll start every day. You need to drive it to work and get decent gas mileage doing it. So, it's not a downside with that.